AISec Intel, Law and Order, Mapping Global AI Regulations. Today, we step into one of the most defining chapters of your leadership journey, the world of AI law and order, a world where technology is no longer just an innovation, but a responsibility, a commitment, a promise, a duty. As AI systems grow stronger, faster, and more deeply embedded in our businesses, governments across the world are responding. They are building frameworks, drawing boundaries, defining expectations, because AI is no longer a playground of possibilities. It is a space where mistakes have real human consequences, biases can cost lives, inaccuracies can harm societies, and misuse can destabilize nations. This session, day 7 of AISec Intel, is your strategic compass, your blueprint, your advantage, because the organizations that truly understand AI regulations today will become the trusted leaders of tomorrow. In the next 35 minutes, we will travel across the world. We will decode USA's AI frameworks, unpack EU's AI Act, the toughest regulation in the world, explore India's emerging AI governance landscape, and finally, anchor everything with ISO 42001, the global gold standard for AI governance. Remember this: AI is not unregulated anymore. The world has changed. You, as a security leader, must change with it. Let's begin the journey toward building trusted AI, toward governing with integrity, courage, and clarity. Why AI regulations matter now. Pause for a moment. Imagine a world where algorithms make decisions about your job, your loan, your healthcare. Imagine a world where deepfakes spread faster than truth, where autonomous systems malfunction, where private data silently feeds black box models without consent. This is not tomorrow's world. This is today, right now, at this exact moment. That is why AI regulations matter, not as obstacles, but as guardrails, protecting innovation from becoming chaos. Across the world, regulators are stepping in because algorithmic bias is no longer theoretical, because misinformation campaigns have shaken political systems, because deepfakes have broken trust at scale, and because national security now depends on AI security. AI regulations are here to give organizations four essential powers: risk mitigation, so AI does not harm; trust building, so users believe in what you create; compliance, so you operate legally and ethically; market access, so you can participate in the global economy. If an organization does not understand AI regulations today, it will lose customers, it will lose markets, and eventually it may lose the right to operate. But you are here, you are learning, you are preparing, you are stepping ahead of 99% of organizations that are still waiting, still confused, still unaware of the speed of change unfolding around them. This is your edge, your opportunity, your leadership moment. Global regulatory pressure accelerating from 2020 to 2025, the world witnessed a radical transformation in AI governance. What started as voluntary guidelines, gentle advisories, soft principles, has evolved into binding legislation with real enforcement, real penalties, real consequences. In 2020, the world barely understood the magnitude of the AI wave. We saw frameworks like OECD AI principles, UNESCO guidelines, and early NIST work. They whispered to the world, pay attention, AI is coming. In 2022-2023, the whispers became urgent. EU drafted the world's first AI Act. India enacted the DPDP Act. The US prepared its massive executive order. The world's regulators were no longer discussing, they were acting. In 2024, everything changed. EU AI Act was published. ISO 42001 launched as the first AI management system standard. Sector-specific rules tightened across industries. And by 2025, we officially entered the mature compliance era, a world where AI governance is not optional, where organizations must prepare for cross-border audits, mandatory risk assessments, continuous monitoring, and global enforcement cooperation. This is the decade where governance defines competitive advantage, where organizations that embrace compliance also embrace trust, and those who ignore it face consequences they cannot recover from. This is your reminder. The future will not wait, and neither should you. USA Framework, NIST AI Risk Management Framework. The United States has taken a pragmatic, flexible, and risk-based approach to AI governance. And at the center of that approach is the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, a framework designed not to restrict innovation, but to guide it responsibly. NIST AI RMF is built around four powerful functions: govern, map, measure, manage. Together, they form a continuous improvement cycle, a living, breathing process that evolves with every AI system you deploy. When you govern, you create structure, you define policies, responsibilities, risk appetite, you make AI accountable. When you map, you understand context, you identify risks, stakeholders, dependencies, you make AI transparent. When you measure, you test, you analyze bias, robustness, accuracy, fairness, you make AI trustworthy. And when you manage, you act, you treat risks, you monitor continuously, you make AI safe in the real world. The beauty of the NIST framework is that it does not force you to use a specific technology. It does not impose rigid rules. It gives you freedom with responsibility, a flexible structure that works across industries, across sectors, across AI maturity levels. For every CISO, every AI leader, NIST AI RMF is not just a framework. It is a mindset, a philosophy, a way of creating AI systems that protect people, build trust, and scale responsibly. USA Executive Order on Safe, Secure, and Trustworthy AI, Slide 5, brings us to one of the most influential regulatory actions in AI history. Executive Order 1-D110, a turning point for the United States and a signal to the entire world. This executive order introduces strict binding requirements for federal agencies and especially for developers of large-scale, high-impact AI systems. It mandates safety testing for foundation models that cross computational thresholds. Imagine this: if you train a model with more than 1025 flops, the US government must see your safety results. It requires watermarking and content authentication, a powerful step against misinformation, deepfakes, and synthetic manipulation. In a world where truth is fragile, provenance becomes protection. It mandates AI governance in every federal agency: AI chief officers, AI inventories, risk management frameworks, cybersecurity controls for model pipelines. The US government itself is now becoming a responsible AI practitioner. It enforces reporting requirements for model developers, training process, cybersecurity measures, foreign ownership, safety guardrails. All must be reported to federal authorities. And at its core, it protects equity and fairness across society. No algorithmic discrimination in employment, lending, housing, health, justice. AI cannot be an amplifier of inequality. This is not just policy, this is accountability at scale. This is leadership through responsibility. EU AI Act, risk-based regulatory architecture. Welcome to the most influential and the most powerful AI regulation ever written, the EU AI Act, a regulation that does not whisper, it commands, it defines, it reshapes how organizations build and deploy AI systems across the world. The EU AI Act introduces a revolutionary idea, a risk-based architecture. Not all AI is equal. Some systems entertain, some assist, some decide who gets a loan, who receives medical care, who is selected for a job. The impact is different, so the regulation adjusts accordingly. At the top, the category no one can touch. Unacceptable risk AI. These systems manipulate emotions, categorize people by biometrics, attempt social scoring, or distort free will. The EU bans them completely. No negotiation, no exceptions. Then come high-risk systems, critical infrastructure, law enforcement, employment screening, education, justice systems. These models must follow the toughest, deepest, and most demanding compliance obligations. Why? Because a wrong prediction in these areas does not just hurt a process, it hurts a human life. Next, limited risk AI, chatbots, deepfakes, emotion recognition tools. Here, transparency becomes mandatory. Users must know they are interacting with AI. Consent replaces deception. Finally, minimal risk systems, AI in games, spam filters, recommendation engines, low impact, low oversight, still important, but not dangerous. The EU AI Act is not anti innovation, it is pro trust, pro accountability, pro human dignity. It is a message to organizations everywhere. If your AI touches human rights, safety, or fairness, you must treat it with the seriousness it deserves. EU AI Act, high risk system obligations. Now, let's step deeper into the heart of the EU AI Act, where organizations deploying high risk AI must follow 8 powerful obligations. These obligations are not paperwork, they are not checklists, they are safeguards for society, and every one of them carries meaning, weight, purpose. 1. Risk management system. You must identify, assess, and mitigate risks continuously because AI risk is not a one-time event. It evolves with every dataset, every update, every user interaction. 2. Data governance training. Data must be relevant, representative, accurate, unbiased. You must know where your data came from, how it was processed, what quality issues it carries. Data is not just fuel, it is responsibility. 3. Technical documentation architectures, training methods, known limitations, intended use, everything must be documented. If you cannot explain your model, you cannot deploy your model. 4. Record keeping, automated logs, decision trails, event histories. Traceability is non-negotiable. AI must leave footprints because accountability needs evidence. 5. Transparency and information. Users must understand how to use the system, where it works, where it fails, where it must be overridden. 6. Human oversight. This is the EU's strongest message. AI must never be the final authority. Humans must have the ability to intervene, correct, stop. Meaningful, real oversight. 7. Accuracy and robustness. Models must perform consistently, handle errors gracefully, resist adversarial attacks, and maintain reliability in real-world conditions. 8. Cybersecurity. AI must be protected like critical infrastructure from tampering and poisoning, unauthorized access, and malicious modification. These obligations are not burdens, they are the foundation of trusted AI. AI that respects human rights, safety, and dignity. EU AI Act penalties drive compliance. If the EU AI Act is the world's strongest regulation, its penalties make it unmistakably clear compliance is not optional. The fines under the EU AI Act surpass even the legendary GDPR penalties. They are sharp, they are intentional, they are designed to enforce responsibility at global scale. For prohibited practices, the banned systems we discussed earlier, the fine can go up to 35 million or 7% of global turnover, whichever is higher. Think about that. A single violation can shake a company's global revenue. For non-compliance in high-risk systems, improper documentation, poor data governance, weak oversight, the fines reach 15 million or 3% of global turnover for supplying incorrect, incomplete, or misleading information to authorities. The fines go up to 7.5 million or 1% of global turnover. These penalties are not for punishment, they are for deterrence. They send a strong message. If your AI harms people, the consequences will be real and unavoidable. Enforcement is handled by regulators across EU member states, data protection authorities, and the new European AI Office, which coordinates cross-border investigations. This is not theoretical enforcement. This is live, active, operational. The EU has built a global model, a standard other countries will follow. And for you, as a leader, understanding these penalties is not fear, it is power. With the right governance, the right controls, your organization becomes a trusted, compliant, future ready AI enterprise. India's emerging AI regulatory landscape. Now we shift to India, a nation balancing innovation and regulation with remarkable precision. Unlike the EU's hard boundaries, India adopts a balanced, progressive, and innovation friendly approach. The goal is simple: protect citizens, enable innovation, accelerate AI adoption, and still enforce accountability where it matters most. The backbone of India's AI governance is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, DPDP Act of 2023. This law governs how personal data is collected, processed, stored, and used in AI systems. Alongside it stands the India AI Mission, a massive Rs 10,372 crore investment to build compute power, develop large language models, support startups, drive research, and make India a global AI talent powerhouse. In March 2024, the Ministry of Electronics and IT issued advisory guidelines focused on misinformation, deepfakes, biometric misuse, and platform accountability. This advisory is not the final rule, it is the beginning, the signal that India is moving towards stronger AI oversight. India's approach is unique, flexible, but firm where necessary, innovation friendly, but citizen first, encouraging AI development but discouraging misuse. This blend makes India one of the most strategic regions for AI governance and one of the most dynamic landscapes for CISOs and AI security leaders. DPDP Act's impact on AI systems. The DPDP Act may not be an AI-specific law, but its impact on AI systems is deep, significant, and impossible to ignore. The Act revolves around consent, rights, data minimization, purpose limitation, and security, all of which directly shape how AI systems are trained and deployed. Let's explore its impact. 1. Consent requirements. AI systems cannot use personal data without explicit, informed, purpose-specific consent. This reshapes how datasets are created, how models are trained, how profiling takes place. 2. Purpose limitation. You cannot repurpose data for new AI use cases without new consent. No training on scraped data. No silent reuse of historical datasets. 3. Data minimization. AI systems must collect only the data they actually need, not extra, not just in case. The era of limitless data hoarding is over. 4. Rights of data principals. Users can now request access, correction, deletion. They can challenge automated decisions and demand explanations, meaning AI must be transparent enough to support these rights. 5. Security safeguards. Organizations must implement strong protections for data pipelines because breaches in AI systems have far-reaching consequences. 6. Breach notification. If personal data used in AI systems is compromised, you must notify the Data Protection Board and the affected individuals. DPDP forces organizations to rethink AI, not as a technical system, but as a human impact system, a system where privacy, fairness, and protection are not optional. They are mandatory, non-negotiable, foundational.